What is going on, guys? It's been quite some time, right? Man, it's been months, I feel like. Uh, as you can see, I got a new setup, uh, got some new equipment all hooked up. That's the reason why I've been away for quite some time here. But it's finally up and running, so I plan on making future videos more like this, recording voiceovers, things like that. But other than that, things are going great. Doing some, art, obviously. But before I dive into anything, I just want to ask you a question. What ruins somebody's day? Any takers? Well, water does. And what I mean by that is water in this context. These are Magic the Gathering cards, and we recently had a flood not too long ago, and I forgot to put these on some high ground in the basement. So the sub pump kind of backed up, and I'm left with this now. So if anybody knows how I can salvage these, now they're all stuck together, they're all dried together. So when I try to kind of pull them apart, they tear. So if anybody knows any kind of like maybe solution I can submerge them in, and then they easily can split individually, that'd be awesome. But anyways, the piece I want to show you today is a piece of one of many series or many pieces. It's a series of monster encounters I was commissioned for from Hive Adventures for the latest module of a series of modules called Against the Abyssal Hive. And these monster encounters, when I got the brief, I had to imagine three elements or three genres, so to say, to like kind of combine them all together, which would be HP Lovecraft, aliens, and then cool looking bugs. So it was a challenge, and as always, how I start is I just surf the internet, gather ideas. The thing I was really doing was trying to kind of grab those more potent characteristics of each genre. For example, like HP Lovecraft with the tentacles, the octopus sort of look. And then you have aliens with their cool, H.R. Geiger infamous skin texture. And then bugs, make them look like bugs. So I gathered all these ideas, kind of mashed them together, see what I came up with when I started sketching these out, and then I kind of just went from there. With this technique, I did the same where I start with the darker colors and then build light upon the dark. There's a lot of shifting back and forth, as per usual, and just the ideas kind of started flowing throughout the process, where we eventually agreed on this really cool pattern design on each bug, their own individual look, to kind of separate them, so when the DM is describing what the players are seeing or encountering, they can refer to that pattern, and they can be like, oh, okay, it's the stalker, or it's the scout. So I made that almost like a brighter orange, just to kind of have stand out more than the rest of the body. Later in the video, you do see that I used a previous piece of the encounter series, the Hive creatures, just to grab the colors from. I wanted all these obviously to look consistent, to make them all look uniform, and they're all a part of this hive. Other than that, I just trial and error, back and forth, came to a final result. And something that's not in the video is once I had all these creatures pretty much good to go and approved, I did go back and add some details, some lighting, fill lighting. Then you have like, you know, the silhouette white lighting, just to make them pop out more. Even though these are standalone, you know, pieces that have no background, I still wanted to kind of give it a little bit more. As you can see right here, I'm doing that technique that I shown in a previous video where I use filters on layers, and I kind of just, like I said, trial and error, see what looks good, and it's like, oh, okay, that looks awesome, right? So I will mark it down on the top there, you know, what the layer is or filter, and what color, so I can always go back if I wanted to add something more to that layer and filter. Just kind of like a nice little like go-to, just so like I'm not guessing like, oh, what did I use for that layer again, or what color, because now with the filter it looks like it's a different color, right? So that technique I use pretty much all the time. It's just very good organization, I suppose, efficiency. You can also see that I found a picture of a centipede. I don't know what the actual variant of that centipede is called, but it looks awesome. I love the colors of it. It's like a charcoal gray to it, and then those very bright, vibrant yellows and oranges. In the beginning of the process, when I was trying to find ideas and trying to match stuff together, that was another thing I ran into, was like, okay, what are these going to look like as far as color goes? I seen that, and I'm just like, yeah, for sure. So that's why you see this centipede on the canvas right now. I do color pick from that when I was making that piece right above it. But as far as that goes, I used the piece I made for color picking afterwards, just because there are a lot of variants and different tones in that centipede. I wanted just to make sure that every other creature had the same range, so I just used that piece above the centipede. Another thing too is you can see kind of towards the end is where I kind of do the trial and error again with the wings. Really no plan at all with what I wanted the wings to look like as far as texture, so I just kind of back and forth, like, oh, maybe this will look cool, and then it's like, I could probably do better, and just that goes on for a little bit, and then I start to see the silhouette as a whole, because as we all know, that the silhouette as a whole should look interesting and make sense. So when you're doing art pieces, a good practice would be just to kind of clip a layer, a solid color layer into the whole thing, so it becomes just a solid color silhouette. And then you just kind of see if the shape makes sense, if it's readable. There's not too high of complexity within like maybe certain areas in the outline, I guess. So yeah, I start to kind of like maybe add some stuff, like one of the legs on it, I kind of give it a little bit more, like thorns, or like little spikes, things of that nature. And yeah, that's pretty much it. This is like a flyer, I suppose. This is the only one that can fly within the Hive series of creatures. I thought this really turned out great. But like I said, I go back in and then kind of give it a little bit more oomph with lighting and stuff. You know, as they say, or I forget who says it, but our work is never finished, it's only abandoned. So maybe many artists will agree that with the one of the struggles is, you know, once you feel like you got it finished, you take like a day or so to, you know, take your eyes off of it, you come back to it and you're like, I can add more to this, or maybe I can, you know, change this up, make it look cool, you know, even cooler. So there's a point where it's like, okay, this is good, you know, the client approves, like, let's just roll with it, you know. So yeah, that's it. So enjoy the rest of the video. All right.